don't have time, do I?
No, we're starting now.
Oh, well.
What, were you going to read that live?
Yeah.
Here we go. Hey, everybody. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Laura Vasel.
And this is the Dice Tower Live, May 16th, 2016. And I said Laura would join me live, and it took me 5 months to persuade her. Not really, but this is just like a free
You
time.
didn't even ask me.
Yeah, okay, let's not splice hairs on this. Yesterday was our 17th anniversary. And
What?
yeah, I was going to say, that's pretty much all I... What, were you going to read that live?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Here we go. Seems like the sound is off. Are we back? Are we in sync? We'll find out briefly. Are we back? Are we in sync? We are in sync. Hooray! I don't know what the deal was there, folks. All right, let's start again. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Laura Vasel.
Welcome to our live Q&A for May 16th, 2016. As I was saying, yesterday was our 17th anniversary. Yes. We got married on Armed Forces Day back in
1999.
1999, not 2000. 1999. Melody was born in 2000. And so, anyhow, it's been a good 17 years. I hope we're not done yet.
No.
Anyhow.
Definitely not.
It's very nice of her to say these things. Okay, so anyhow, we are going to be taking questions, and we're going to take the first half questions. We're going to take from a link in the video. If you look in the video description, there's a link to Q&A, and so you can go there and vote questions up or down. So we'll answer those questions first, and then about halfway through, we'll come back and answer questions straight from YouTube. So if you're asking questions there now, I'm totally ignoring them, and I apologize. I'm just glad that we're synced up with video. Okay, so let's get started with Q&A. We're going to go over here and see what the most voted up question is, probably for you. Is it weird having Sam and Z around the house all the time? Or more of the same?
More of the same. Oh, we had more than Sam and Z now, though. We have Derek, too.
Yeah, but they're not like we're not really around the house. They come up here to this room, and we shut the door and barricade ourselves in, and we have two people interrupt us. Laura, to give us mail.
I open the door and shove it in.
And Jimmy, who just bursts in every once in a while. Jimmy really likes Z and Sam. I don't know why. Well, Z plays with the little cars with them and stuff.
Yeah, he likes the little army type guys too that he fights with.
All right, is there a particular time of year when Tom travels that is particularly bothersome? Like a certain convention you wish he would not attend? Thanks, unknown questionnaire.
I don't know about a certain convention, but I guess summer is really busy. And he's not home frequently. But it's nice because we don't have school, so when he is home, we get to spend lots of time with him.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The busiest time of the year is summer for sure, but fortunately, there's no school. The worst time for us really is spring because the girls all have softball practice.
Yes.
So that kind of throws a wrench in everything. Although, I guess if we get around to teaching Melody to drive, that will solve all our problems. We won't have to... Yeah, then we'll just worry all the time.
She's old enough now.
Yeah, my insurance rates are going up. Woot! Okay, so are there hobbies or activities other than gaming that you hope some of your children will pick up and participate in with you?
Participating with me? I would like to get a bike and ride bikes with my children. That would be fun, but I don't have a bike yet, so...
You know, we were in the process of buying bikes for the whole family when a couple of them got stolen.
Yeah.
And that kind of just put a wrench in that whole thing. We were like, oh, okay, never mind. You had got one of those bikes was when you bought me, right?
Yes.
You bought me a bike and that was stolen, and I bought Amy a brand new bike and that was stolen. Mm-hmm. Sad days. Holly has a bike. Oh, I think she's the only person who has a bike, right?
No. We have like 5 bikes at least.
Do we? But we don't have bikes.
No, we don't.
We probably should get some. All right, what's the best thing about Tom having this job, and what's the worst?
Best.
The best is...
The
best is all the free games we get?
Yeah, whatever. It's nice having him at home. He can work from home and having something to do with the kids. Yeah, I like that the work and the kids and the family all get involved together.
Yeah, that's the best for me too, really.
The worst is that I can't always go with him on his trips.
But that's going to change one of these days. Well, what are we waiting for, Melody to turn 18?
No, for Jimmy to get older.
Yeah, but when Laura's 18, Jimmy will be 4. We'll be like,
yeah,
Melody.
Melody's 18.
Did I say Laura?
Yes.
Man. I'm sorry. Okay. Laura, if you were to turn around and judge a game by its cover, which of the games on Tom's shelves you haven't played seems the most interesting to you?
Wow. Sheriff.
Wait, you never played Sheriff Anonymous?
No.
You would be horrible at that game.
Probably. I'm just wondering. Should I try it?
Someone said our mic sounds bad. I don't mean for it to sound bad. We're trying to use an omnidirectional mic here so that we both would be the same volume to some degree. Hang on, let me move this around here. All right. If I turn it this way, hopefully that will pick us both up. Okay. Do you celebrate the birthdays of every single member of the family?
Yes, definitely.
That'd be a horrible thing for us to say no to.
Well, we don't have birthday parties.
If so, he says, what kind of celebration do you have? What we've done in the past is we pick certain dates that they would get a party, certain years they get a party on. I think we said 5, 13.
10.
5, 10? 16? I don't know what it is. We kind
5, 10, 13, 16.
We've kind of reneged on that to some degree. We kind of give them, like, instead of having big parties, we just don't do that at all. We do like small parties, like pick a few friends and do something with those friends, and that seems to make them happy. They always get to pick what restaurant we go out to eat, and I cannot wait till the youngest ones are out of McDonald's range, because that is literally the only time I eat at McDonald's is on Claire and Ruby's birthday.
This year it was Chuck E. Cheese.
It was Chuck E. Cheese. I'm also like looking forward to out of that range too. The gain on the mic is too high. Fine, I'll go turn that down. So I'll leave this here. And we're going to turn down the mic. So if I turn down the gain, then everyone's going to complain that later on when they watch it that it was too loud. Ding, 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 ding. That's about... There we... That is about the lowest that I'm willing to drop it, I think. Oh, maybe I should actually use the right one. Testing, testing. Testing. Try that. 2. Oh. Which one am I even using? I'm using that one. Okay. Alright, so anyhow, what were we talking about? Oh, birthday parties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we take them out to eat. We get them presents. We try to make it unique and special for each of them, but they get to pick where to go out to eat. Unfortunately, that's starting to really cut us deep with those older kids.
What do you mean?
They're starting to pick like fancier
Really
restaurants.
fancy
you know,
restaurants.
I'm not really keen on visiting McDonald's, but it sure is a lot cheaper than going to where Amy. What did Amy? She's like Texas de Brazil. Like, are you kidding me? Your dad is not rich. Laura, how did you feel when Tom betrayed you in Cosmic Encounter? Did you make any revenge for that?
No. I just didn't play it for a really long time.
Watch that because of the mic there. No, you did not play it because I betrayed you.
Oh, I know, but I just didn't play it.
The deal is this, and I know people have a hard time believing this, but we really, at least unless Laura's been deceiving me this whole time, we really don't mind attacking each other in games.
Oh, no. It's part of playing a game.
In fact, I feel like for both of us, if we have a choice of who to attack, it's probably going to be each other.
Definitely.
That's because Laura's always worried about irritating people, but she doesn't really care about me.
Well, usually when we play, it's with the girls. I don't want to attack the girls. They're younger.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Does Tom create new words only gaming-wise, or does he do it in regular life, too? I've somewhat of a reputation for making up words that don't actually exist. Like I'll say randomosity instead of randomness and things.
Yeah. Well, that's when you do most of your talking, is when you're here working. So I guess sometimes he makes up words, but not like he does when he's recording.
Yeah, I do like to make up words. I don't know. Tom is doing great with the weight loss. Still could lose a whole lot more. Anyway, is there anything he's making you as the family cook eat that's different, gross, or strange?
Strange? No. Nowadays, half of my cooking is salads and half is sandwiches for lunch. Actually,
one of the main reasons I started losing weight was to be an example to the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Because they really needed to lose some weight themselves. The doctors told them so. And so, I mean, how can I say that to them without doing it myself? And I think it really has. I mean, they've been working harder than I have, actually.
Not lately. But yes, overall.
Okay, well, either way. I go to conventions, man! So, there's that. All right, let's see here. Laura, do you have a favorite fictional book or series?
Oh, I really like the Left Behind series. It's been a long time since I read it, but that was one of my favorites.
Does Tom ever ask permission to have people down there for gaming marathons? If not, should he?
No, he doesn't ask permission ever.
Well, before I get in too much trouble here, we do sit down once in a while and we compare our schedules.
Yes, he knows what my schedule is and when to expect things.
And sometimes things just cross. And there's nothing we can do about that. Like this Friday, right? I'm going down to that escape room thing, and you're doing that trip with the girls, the homeschooling trip. And I would have come if those hadn't crossed. And that happens occasionally. I mean, like big things, we'll try not to mess up. But what is the best food that Tom makes?
Best food. Oh, he never makes something twice, I don't think. It's almost been something different every time.
Well,
I like it when he puts potatoes and ham and vegetables and...
My stews, you mean?
No. When it was more like the creamy potato and ham. And
you mean that? You like that meal,
I really liked that one.
Oh, okay. I made my own scallop potatoes. Huh. What I like best that I think I make decent salsas.
Yes.
I just made a blackberry raspberry salsa. I thought it was pretty good. I might have made it a little too spicy.
No.
Well,
Jimmy likes it.
Yeah, but Jimmy is crazy when it comes to eating hot food. I don't know what's wrong with that. At what age will we allow our children to date?
Date? I don't know. I haven't had to deal with it yet.
Yeah, we haven't had to deal with that yet. When I think they're mature enough for it, that's really the answer. There's no like hard or fast limit on that regard. I'm not going to be one of those guys who goes, when they're 35. That's nonsense, whatever. When I think they're mature enough, I mean, pretty soon I won't have much of a say in the matter anyway. I don't think high school is the best place to date usually, because most of the time those relationships don't go anywhere. But I'm not saying a hard no on that either. Just, again, like Laura said, it hasn't come up that much or at all, really, has it?
No.
The one possibility moved away. All right. Laura, when someone asks you what your husband does for a living, what do you say and what do you write down on official documents?
Official documents?
Like if someone like, what job does your husband have? What do you say? You must fill those out every once in a while.
Board game reviewer. That's his official title.
And you never get like anyone saying, what is that to you?
No, usually they understand, kind of, except they wonder how he makes money off of it.
Yeah, I actually myself, I try to be very vague about it myself to most people because it takes a long time to explain it to people. Like even to my parents. First I had to explain what I did. Then I had to explain what Kickstarter was because they didn't know what that was. And it's still, I think they're still hazy on how that works. But for most people, I say, I'm a board game reviewer. Like some people review movies, I do it with board games. And they're like, oh, wow, that must be amazing. I'm like, yes, it is. So how's the weather? Just change the subject. Not that I don't want to talk about board games, but what are our favorite places to take the whole family?
Favorite places?
Well, in the immediate vicinity, the pool.
Yeah.
Everyone likes going to the pool. Our favorite place to go as a family, water parks. We all really like those. You know what? We really do as a family like to eat out. We don't get to do it that often, but I think every time we do, everybody has a good time. I would say the cruise.
That was
an amazing time for our whole family last year. We really had a good time doing that.
Everyone still talks about it.
Yeah, they're excited about the Dice Tower cruise coming up later this year. I'm excited about it. Mm-hmm. That was good. And we still remember the trip to Malaysia. That was a really great trip when we lived in Korea. But like right now, if I could say where do the kids want to go when it wasn't a cruise, probably an amusement park. They really like amusement parks. And we do too. Mm-hmm. We just get a kick out of going. I get a kick out of watching the kids ride stuff. Are there any games that you do not like Tom to play?
Well,
there definitely have been games that have come in the mail
that I did
that
not
you have thought that nobody should play.
Yeah. Like, are you sure about this game? I think we should throw away before.
And then I always say, I need to test these games to make sure they're proper for other people to play. How am I supposed to know if the game's good or not unless I play it first?
Really?
No, that's not what I
that?
No.
I don't remember that.
Tom, Laura, what are your thoughts about Tom missing Father's Day due to being at Origins?
We can celebrate it any day, really. It's happened many times before.
I've missed more Father's Days than not, maybe. I never really cared because Father's Day is like my day, right? So it doesn't. So. I don't.
Are you sure?
I missed at least several. I think. But, Laura, do you have a post-secondary degree? I think just a secondary degree. You have a degree, right?
Yeah, I have
Laura has a bachelor's degree.
I have a bachelor's degree.
If you weren't a full-time mom, what would you be doing?
Oh. Seriously? At one point I was, I guess, maybe possibly going back to school and getting a teacher's certificate. I could do that now. I'm getting better at it.
Oh, yeah.
Since I do it all the time at home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If anything, Laura's amazing. You can do all sorts of things. You could
I've been a secretary before. I've taught.
Did you like doing
English.
that when you were a secretary? Did you like being a secretary?
No. Actually, when I first started, I was a nervous wreck. I went home every day. I was so stressed out. It really
What's your
bothered
favorite
me.
job that you've had?
Favorite job?
I thought you liked working there after a while.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, it wasn't very interesting. It was just paperwork all the time.
That's what you do now.
Nah, there's a lot of interaction there.
When did you have the game room soundproofed? When we moved in.
Yes.
It was like one of the first things I did. I really wanted to get this game room soundproofed. I mean, it's not perfectly soundproofed, and we know this because Jimmy has tested the limits of everything. And it's not perfectly soundproofed anyway, but we don't want it to be perfectly soundproof because we need air flowing in here.
It gets really hot in here.
This room is definitely 5 degrees hotter than the rest of the house. So, who's watching the children while you answer questions here? Our kids are not that.
4 of them are asleep.
That's true. 4/7 of them are in bed. No, I mean, we can leave the house. We got a 16-year-old daughter now and a 13-year-old daughter who's just as responsible as a 16-year-old,
Yes.
really. And Melody and Amy are real. Amy is like really good at watching the other kids. So we really, I mean, we don't go far. We'll like go to some place that's like 30, not even 30 minutes away, like 15 minutes away. But we can let the kids. Anyway, the 3 older kids are watching the finale of
Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time. They're very, very excited about that. I stopped watching very early into that series. As a young married couple, did you intend to have so many children?
Yes.
I did in theory, right? I would go around and be like,
You told everybody.
we're having 10 kids! But to be fair, some of that I said just to be silly. I remember I had to write a
Seriously?
fake... Well, not silly, but I mean, I didn't really know what having 10 kids meant.
That is true.
Right, I mean, I don't know. 10 kids sounds good to me. I remember one time I had to write a report for a class, and I said something about having my kids, and the teacher came and found Laura. You remember that?
Yeah, and
he said,
asked me what I thought about it.
You know that Tom intends this? Butt out, buddy.
Oh, no, you didn't say that.
No. I would never say that to a teacher. Once we had our first kid, Melody, we didn't think much about the future, really. We were just concentrating on that one kid. I never thought, someday we'll have 7.
Yeah.
Once we hit 4, though, I wasn't really... I don't know. I never really got caught up in thinking about the future because we were thinking about that particular baby. Now we think about the future a lot more because we just, we never, Jimmy, we did not expect him to even be around. So that was a miracle in of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy is likely the last Vasel. But 7 is a lot of kids. And we've had 10 kids, I guess. Just several of them are in heaven at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Laura, this person says they are buying. The kids are taken care of. Where are you and me going? Where are you going that you haven't been?
Where am I going that I haven't been? Wow. Someplace I haven't been?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess. Can you think of any place? No, I don't usually research places. He's the one who comes up with the new stuff. I don't know.
What do you collect?
I collect.
Do you collect anything?
I used to collect like figurines and stuff, but
That was like before we got married, wasn't it?
yeah,
Whatever happened to those figurines?
they broke. I have a whole lot of space for it anymore because everything has to be up really high and out of Jimmy's reach. I guess I collect books. We have a lot of books.
We do have a lot of books. Tom, how long have you gone without playing a board game? Do you mean like ever? Weeks, I guess. I don't know. I'm certainly gone weeks without playing a board game. In college, I might have gone months maybe at a time.
You played lots of video games back then.
Yeah, there were times. I'm a little nervous they just announced Civilization 6 is coming in October. Like, is there going to be like a week where I don't want to play any board games at all? Civilization, yeah. What are you looking forward to the most on the upcoming Dice Tower cruise?
What am I looking forward to the most? Relaxation.
Yeah.
No school.
I don't think I'll have the relaxation part because I'm going to be running around hosting it. But it will still be fun, I think. I'm looking forward to doing a show in that theater on a ship.
You're really doing a show?
Yeah, like a Wits and Wagers show or something like that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I like going to the shows.
That's right. Laura gets to come to Dice Tower Con, and we have Melody or Amy watch the kids at night, and Laura comes to the Wits and Wagers or the game shows at night. Mm-hmm. I don't tell her the answers ahead of time, and this is proven by the fact that your team has always lost.
We haven't always lost.
Did you win one time?
Yeah.
Did no one accuse you of cheating?
No.
Well, that's good. I really don't show her the answers.
Because I didn't get a lot of the answers right. It had nothing to do with me.
Laura, what did you think about Korea? Because the people hear me and Sam talk about it, but they want to know what your perspective on Korea is.
I didn't ever want to leave. I really liked it in Korea. But, things happen, and we definitely needed to come back here to the States.
What did you like about Korea?
Specifically? People, food. I liked public transportation.
You did like the public transportation.
I loved it.
It was very convenient there. At our house, we lived it was like a few minutes walk to a bus stop.
2.5 minutes.
You had this memorized?
Of course. I walk there all the time.
And then you could take that bus to another bus stop, or that bus went to the subway station. Mm-hmm. And then the subway, you could go anywhere.
You only had to wait 10 minutes for a bus.
We were very lucky. We lived at the end of the bus line, too. Mm-hmm. So if it was cold, you could just get on the bus.
Right away.
And eventually it would get going. There was almost always a bus there.
Yep.
And if there wasn't a bus there, you knew one would be there very soon. And the subways were pretty consistent, at least on the main line where we were. Yeah, man, public transportation, I really miss that. And you could use the same card for everything. You put the money on the card and you could just scan it on each spot. It was very, very convenient. I bet they use phones now.
Yeah, probably.
As young parents, what were your biggest learning or whoops moment as parents?
Oops. Carrying too many things and a child at the same time. On the stairs. That was a big whoops moment for me.
Learning to recognize when something was really an emergency. Maybe? I don't know. The first time Melody had fits when she was a kid. First time it happened.
Fits?
I'm sorry. Not fits.
Seizures.
Seizures. First time it happened, we panicked. Mm-hmm. Second time we panicked. Third time we knew what to do. So we learned a lot about just taking care of kids in general, what temperatures to know. You learn that stuff really fast. And you worry about kids, but it gets to a point after a while, they fall and you're like, you're okay, walk it off.
Yeah, Melody had the measles that one time. It was just a rash after her fever.
Yeah, well, Violet one time ate eggs and broke out, and yeah, we've been very fortunate. That none of our kids, we haven't dealt much with broken bones or anything like that. We've definitely dealt with Clara, going to the hospital. That was a huge, long, drawn out, lots of things. And of course with Jack, and Melody, we've had our fair share of visiting the hospital. We know a lot about going to the hospital in Korea.
And in America.
Yeah, we know our doctors. Okay, what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to stop with the Q&A questions, and I'm going to switch over to YouTube. And so I'll be answering questions there. And I realize I'm not going to answer every question on YouTube. I'm just going to answer the ones that we're interested in answering. And some of the questions that I get asked all the time, there's a FAQ on Board Game Geek that you can see the answers to questions that we get asked a lot. But Laura's not on here all the time, so we'll maybe have some questions here. Which of the kids looks most like mom? Which looks the most like dad?
Melody looks the most like me. And maybe Amy looks the most like you?
Amy looks the most like my family, for sure.
Yes.
Not necessarily like me, but Amy looks definitely the most like my family.
So Amy.
Holly looks a lot like you, too.
Yeah, but...
Well, I mean, with the red hair and all that jazz.
Her hair is totally different. Melody is the most like me.
Which kid acts most like each of us?
Acts.
I would say our daughter Violet is closest to Laura.
Maybe.
Ish. Amy is closest to acting like me. You think that's true? I'm half Amy, half Melody. Melody follows me in like planning things and doing things. Amy has my sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
The one who's least like both of us is probably Holly.
Yeah.
Where in Korea did we live? We started out by living in
Kunsan,
near the Kunsan Air Base. And then we moved to Uijeongbu. We lived there. We lived in Uijeongbu. We lived in Kunsan for 2.5 years. We lived in Uijeongbu for 7 years.
Yes.
Well, I like both of them. There was benefits. Like in Kunsan, there was very few Americans around. So that was a disadvantage, finding English things and stuff like that. But at the same time, we were treated great all throughout Korea. But we were really treated great in Kunsan. Like, we never paid to go to the doctor. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, the pediatrician loved our kids, and it was free. That was amazing.
And we got to go to the front of the line.
Yeah.
I don't know if the other people...
It was very odd sometimes. Like, we had... like, we went to the mall one time, and some guy walked up to Amy and just handed her $10.
Yeah.
Or 10,000 won, but the equivalent of $10. Why? Just because. Someone did that in America.
Probably because she had blonde hair.
Very nervous, like, who is this person? But people were just... Our kids got free stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. We were one little word and come back to America, like, you're not going to get free stuff all the time here. But I guess they've gotten over that. In fact, one of the funniest things I remember when they were reading a book in Korea, and they got to the part, when you see a stranger, what should you do? A, take candy from a stranger. B, make friends with a stranger. C, get mom and dad. And they were like, are we allowed to pick 2 answers here? Because A and B both seemed good. Because in Korea...
That is very normal.
Very normal. Take candy from a stranger. Make friends with a stranger. America, not quite so much. So we had to like re-teach them that when we came back to America, that you got to be stranger danger and all that stuff. But in Korea, we're literally stranger danger is like an obsolete concept, really. Yeah. Or not obsolete, but just it doesn't. I guess there are people who kidnap kids and hurt kids. Like it might happen, but I never heard of it while there. Mm-hmm. It's very safe for kids. Where did we meet? We met in college.
Yes.
I had just finished my freshman year, and you had just finished your sophomore year. Laura, what are your top 5 toys items that you've accidentally stepped on? I did a top 5 in my show this morning about the top 5 worst pieces to step on.
Pieces. Oh, definitely Legos.
Yeah, Legos. My dad used to threaten all the time, I'm going to throw all the Legos away.
Recently, those little, what do they call them? They're like these wax pieces that you iron and they make a shape. I don't know what you'd call those things.
Those little beads?
Those little bead type things. Oh, I'm finding them all over the floor. Really hurts. And earrings. Oh,
That's because you don't wear socks.
earrings. Ouch.
I better never step on an earring, or we're gonna ban them from this house.
You gotta think of anything else?
What are the best and hardest things about homeschooling?
The best. I love being able to teach the girls myself. I know exactly what they're learning, how much they know, and I know how to help them set their goals, and I can correct them when they get it wrong. So, I mean, they learn better that way, I think. And the worst, well, they don't always want to do what I want them to do.
Yeah, there's also no division. Like as a kid, you have teacher, parent, right?
Yeah.
When your parent is your teacher, I mean, they do video, right? So their teachers are online, but we're still kind of the teachers. And, you know, if you get in trouble with your teacher, you go home sometimes. Here, if you get in trouble with your teacher, you're also getting in trouble with your parents. So that can be a negative thing. Do you have any advice for a soon-to-be father for his first child, or any advice on helping my wife through the pregnancy? Oh, there's whole books written on that. Just listen to your wife. Let her rest.
Yes.
And don't worry about every little
different.
thing with the first kid. It will be okay. How did we meet? Seems to be a lot of questions here. I dated Laura's roommates.
Yeah.
Not at the same time. But I dated each of her roommates once, I think. You had two roommates?
You went on a date with both of them at one point.
Not at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, no, we double dated. Okay. And then I had dated two other girls, I think, in your hallway.
Yeah.
I just never met Laura. And then I met you like I said, at the very end of my...
We both signed up for teaching a children's church class.
Right. And so I was like, oh!
I saw his name on the list, and I was like, that name's familiar.
Tom the Vasel. So when we met, I was like, oh, yeah, I know your roommates, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, in my head, I was like, this is a girl I might date. That's it. Nothing more. I was just like, possibility. And then I think what really caught me was that one time I wanted to play ping pong, and you were there, and there was no ping pong ball. And Laura's like, I'll find one. And she ran off and got one. And I was like, while she was gone, I was with my best friend. And I was like, all right. I said, look, I won't stand in the way. You can date her if you want. He's like, no, you date her. I'm like, fine, I will. So I asked her when she came back. And we really did not. We started dating, and that was that.
Yeah.
Like, on our first date, we talked for hours, and we just had so much in common.
We did. We talked a long time.
We did, and I was trying to get up the courage. I feel like I'm pretty brave and bold for the most part, but I was really nervous asking you out on that first date. I didn't ask you out till like the very end of the night. I mean, because technically it wasn't a date. We were there with other people, right? We were there at the group thing, and they just like all disappeared. And I kept like, oh, I'm gonna ask her out. So I asked her out the very last second, and she said yes. And woohoo! And then on our first date, well, we dated a lot on campus. Huh?
That was really exciting.
It was exciting. Then I met your father like the next week. Less exciting. Because I was not ready like to talk to your father at that point. But he just happened to be coming there, and
I told him he had to talk to him.
It was lovely. All right. Any chance for a game of Rook with Rodney and Bonacore this weekend?
Oh, this weekend?
No, it's not happening, Rook. First of all, there'll be more than just us four there. Secondly, it's been a long time since I played Rook. Do you think
I remember how to play it.
We have a Rook trophy in our house, but it's not mine. Laura is better at Rook than me.
I played
to the
it growing
point
up.
where she did not even pick me as her partner in the tournament. I'm still a little bitter. I know it's been 20 years now. You know it's been 20 years since we've done that? All right, anyway.
Wow.
What's your favorite board game we like to play together? Probably Ticket to Ride, I would guess.
Together?
Or Lost Cities.
You didn't like playing Time's Up with me?
Well,
I thought that was fun.
I like playing it. It's just that we
are really bad at it.
We yell a lot during it. All right, let's see here. You both seem like highly productive people, prolific content production, raising kids. What are some of your general productivity tips? I'll tell you what. One productivity tip is this. When it's time to get up, get up. Seriously, get up and get going. It's really easy to lay there and be like, When you have kids, you get over that really quickly, right? Mm-hmm. You have to jump up and get going right away. I don't know who's texting me.
Your mom.
That was my mom?
Yeah.
Is she watching? Okay, anyhow. But anyhow, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, getting up. But I mean, getting up and making the most of your time. Because it's really easy. And it's really easy to get caught up in doing other stuff, right? I don't mean to jump on people who are like always on Facebook and all these things and stuff. But if you're on that stuff all the time, that really hurts your productivity. I think just having a big family helps with productivity because you're like, we got to get stuff done. We can't just do nothing all day long.
And I've always woken up at 6. So, once you have a baby, you try to get things on schedule. You just always wake up at the same time. It makes life a lot more simple.
We really, and I mean, I'm not going to speak out against other parents and what they do with their kids, but getting our kids on schedules, if someone asks me like what's a good thing to do with kids, that's something I'd highly recommend. We got all our babies on eating schedules within 2 weeks, I think. Did we?
Between 3 and 6.
Between 3 and 6 weeks, right? And I think the longest any of our kids was sleeping the night was 2 months.
Yeah.
And we got them into a schedule where they learned to sleep at night. And when we got them on a schedule, that made our life easier. And it was hard sometimes, right? Because you'd be like, no, it's not time to eat yet. Okay, now it's time to eat. But once you go through a couple hard weeks, It's like gravy. You're like, hey, bedtime is now. We have very specific bedtimes for our kids. They don't even argue about it. They just say, oh, it's bedtime. I mean, they might argue like on Fridays or something like, oh, come on. But I mean, for the most part, they go to bed and they go to sleep. And that makes our lives. That's another thing about being productive, is that we put our kids to bed and then we got time at night. Mm-hmm. We don't have to worry all our kids up right now. Well, we got the 3 older ones up, but they're probably going to they go to bed at 10:30, and I don't have to run out there and, well, maybe Holly. But for the most of them, I don't have to say go to bed now. They're going to go to bed. And that helps them be productive because you need to have some sort of regular schedule. I stay up a little bit later than Laura, but not that much later. I try to go to bed by midnight every night and get up at 6 and get going. And sometimes we take naps, though, because we are tired. But
it's very tiring.
What's your favorite tasty cake? Oh, those peanut butter ones.
Yeah.
Those are yours too?
No, that's yours.
Oh yeah, that's mine.
I like
candy cakes or whatever I think they're called.
I like the Twinkie type best, although they're not called Twinkies.
You mean the ones with jelly in the middle, or the ones with
cream?
Cream in the middle. The crumpets, the butterscotch ones.
Is that what?
Oh, you mean the ones that are chocolate with cream in the middle?
No, probably the butterscotch ones. Those are my favorite.
Whew. Okay. Let's see if I can catch up here question-wise. Have you both played chess?
Yes, and
you don't like chess, I don't think.
Very much. Maybe 3 times total. I'm not very good at it, obviously, since I haven't played very many times.
Let's see here. Who cuts the grass in your family? Well,
me.
Yeah, but we have a very tiny yard. Our front yard is actually cut now by the homeowners association, so that actually has saved us a huge amount of effort.
Takes me 15 minutes.
Do you like camping as a family?
No.
For me, camping is staying at a 1-star hotel. How do you pronounce Laura?
He says it differently than I do. I say Laura.
What do I say? Laura.
Yeah, it's different. See.
Okay. No. How do you say it?
Laura.
Laura.
That's not what you say though.
Laura. Laura. I know that when I first was dating her and she went home and this was...
You say Laura.
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 I don't actually see the difference here. But anyhow, when I first was dating her, the internet was like barely existing back then.
Mm-hmm.
So she gave me a number to call her at her grandparents' house. So I called her and I said, "Is Laura there?" And her grandfather said, "There's no one here with that name," and hung up. I was like, "What?" This is the only number I have. So I called again. I was like, "I'm looking for Laura Swanson." He's like, "Oh, you mean Lori?" I'm like, sure. Because that's what he called you, right?
Yeah, my grandparents called me Lori still.
That scared me. I was like, "Oh no, I'm away from her for 5 weeks and I got the wrong phone number." Very sad. Let's see here. Laura found the ping pong ball. Can she find the missing D20? I'm missing one of those giant D20s.
You are?
I don't know where it is. I think Jimmy stole it.
Huh.
Did you ask your dad for permission to marry Laura? I did. I wrote a very... I did it via letter because he was in Korea at the time. And it was super expensive at that point to call Korea.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote a letter, then I sat in pins and needles waiting for a letter to come back. Although I got an unofficial yes from your brother, who had been in contact with your dad.
Oh.
Her brother is very... If you ever think Laura's reserved, her brother is even more reserved. So he'd come up to me and be like, yeah. I'd be like, yeah, what? And he would just grin and then try to figure out what he was talking about. Let's see here. No, Laura's not going to do a top 100 games of all time.
Never.
I don't think he would like that. When we do lists, that's a me thing.
I do not do lists at all. I can't even figure out what my favorite things are.
Yeah, if I say, "Where do you want to go out to eat?" and she'll be like, I don't know. But I make top 10 lists even at home. It's not just for videos. Like, I'll sit around and think about my top 10 favorite restaurants, my top 10 favorite restaurants in Homestead, my top 10 favorite things on the menu at any particular restaurant. I just like top 10s.
Mm-hmm.
And it drives my kids crazy because I always, when we go back, let's say we go watch something, and I'll be like, "All right, so who was your favorite character in that movie? We just went to an amusement park. Can you list your favorite 5 rides in order?"
No.
Yeah, but that's stuff important to know.
It is not.
Have you guys ever gotten into a fight or an argument during a game? Now, I'm going to assume here it means like a real fight or argument here.
No.
You don't...
No. Not a real argument. I may have felt annoyed, but, it's a game.
I can't remember if we ever fought. We actually never have fought ever.
What a lie.
I've met people who say they never fought, and I always think they're lying to me. But anyhow, no, but I don't think we've ever done it over a game.
No.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe.
Even when you tossed the game, I was just like...
No, but what
are you doing?
That was more silliness than anything else. I've thrown the Lost City cards across the room one time, but that wasn't at her. That was because I was going to score a perfect run of triple handshakes and then 1 through 10. Or was it 2 through 10? Yeah, well, anyway. What's your favorite Ticket to Ride map?
Oh. I don't know. I guess Africa?
Really?
I don't know what all the countries are yet.
Is Africa on the iOS yet?
Huh?
Is Africa on the computer yet?
Oh, no.
India's on the computer now, right?
Actually, I don't know. I haven't.
I need to download
lately.
the newest maps, yeah, so you can see them. Oh, here's a good question. Is Jason as stressful to be around for you as it is for Tom?
No.
Jason really
I actually
likes
really
Laura.
get along with Jason.
He's very respectful to Laura, and No, Jason's very respectful anyway. Also, Laura doesn't game with Jason, so
Very true.
there's that. Also, Laura's very easy to get along with, right? So if Jason says, we should do this, Laura will be like, okay. And I'll be like, no, wait a minute. And
Yep. That's about it.
of your children, who was the most free-spirited, the most stressful to raise, who was the most easy to raise? Well, we can't say this sort of thing because this is being recorded for posterity. So we'll say this. So far, Jimmy has been the hardest to raise.
You think so?
I don't know. He's a boy. I'll tell you what. He's by far the most destructive. By far. Also, the pickiest.
That's just because that's who we have right now.
I can't remember the other one thing as destructive
whatever.
as this. It is.
They've all had their moments.
Well, he's definitely the pickiest eater.
We haven't been as strict on him either.
I don't know.
I do.
How fun was the review of Vasco da Gama? Do you remember that review? That's where you threw water in my face and we did the fake apology.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty interesting. I really like doing that one.
It was just really hard to keep a straight face for the first part of it.
It's been a long time.
Let's see here. Do you guys set aside time for a date night? We don't often go out at night, do we? We usually go out Sunday afternoons.
Mm-hmm. But
We've gone to see movies together.
it's been a while since we went all by ourselves.
We just did on yesterday for our anniversary.
Oh, but since before that.
Yeah, because usually we take one kid with us because we want to we take one kid at a time, and it's like their special time with us, and that way, because the big family, we want to make sure that no kid ever feels like they're being marginalized and not just a number in the crowd. We want them all to feel special.
We have alone time. It's not like.
Yeah, we also spend a lot of time together when the kids go to bed, really.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a benefit of having them go to bed on time is that the night times it's actually starting to be a little bit more annoying these days because the older kids are staying up later and later. Used to be great. 8 o'clock, everyone was in bed.
I think we'll stick with 10:30. Just don't tell Melody that.
She might be watching right now.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Would you like to go to Australia? I would love to go to Australia.
That would be pretty cool.
We thought about going to Australia when we lived in Korea.
Yeah, but then all that stuff with Clara happened, and we gave up.
Let's see. I think that we are getting close to getting caught up with questions. We graduated from... So we did. After graduating, we got married 2 days after.
Melody.
Yeah, maybe. Melody would also be 18 right now. Tom, you have any activity that you really enjoy that you wish Laura would participate in but doesn't? Laura doesn't like logic puzzles.
Oh, I'm terrible at them.
Laura doesn't like heavy board games, but I don't even care anymore because I just play them with Melody now. No, I'm pretty good. I want Laura to go on trips with me. I really do. I'm really looking forward to that. It's only a few years away, I think, before she'll come out on at least one trip a year with me. Then we'll start increasing that as time goes by. I think that'll be really fun.
Okay.
What's something funny about Tom that he finds a little embarrassing? See, I don't do it.
Find it too hard to do it to yourself.
Listen, my feet are really far away from my body. What does Tom do that gets on your nerves the most? Yeah, let's not answer that one. What? Do you have any Tom pet peeves? What is this, guys? They're trying to start an argument online.
Apparently.
All right. Laura, do you have a favorite color you like to play in games? Ooh, I do know that one.
Red.
Aha! It's very convenient, right? Because Z's yellow, Sam's green, Laura's red. So I end up playing blue, usually. Or purple, or black, or white. Has Laura been to any conventions with you? Yeah, Laura went to Essen with me. That's it, though, right? Oh, and Dice Tower Con.
Yep, those two.
Essen, but that was kind of a weird Essen. We had Ruby at the time. She was just a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And we were passing her back and forth. Essen is a very, very exhausting convention. With a baby, even more so.
I carried her in a backpack the whole time.
Well, we were switching in and out, too.
Mm-hmm.
And we fortunately got press passes. Laura was press with me. And so we had access to the press area where we could sit down. And I'm really glad because we really needed to sit down in that area.
Mm-hmm.
We were only there for 2 days, and you were pretty content with that. But that's partially because we had the baby with us.
Yeah.
But I don't even think you'd want to do that part of the convention for much longer than that. Like just walk around and look at games. That's not as interesting.
Actually, one day was probably enough for me.
Yeah, but see, you said you wanted to just sit down and play games, and I was like, what's the next thing to see?
Yeah.
I'm always wanting to go. When this actually happens when we go on trips. When we were in Korea, I was always like, what is next? Let's not waste 1 second. Let us go see the world. She's more of a, let's take it in and look at stuff. And I'm just like, I'm a Yankee, so I'm like, let's go to the next spot.
I liked walking around town, too.
No, but I mean, I like to look at things fast. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Let's go to the next spot.
You go to a museum, it's terrible.
Well,
He doesn't stop to look at anything. He just walks as fast as he can through it. So we can say, we went there.
No, listen. I do like to look at stuff. I just read really fast. When I'm done reading, what am I supposed to do? Keep looking at it?
Oh, I can't keep up with you. You're too fast.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, sometimes I go slower now. We have kids. I can't go fast. Let's see here. Trying to look here. Which of Tom's hats do you like the most? Oh, that's a good question.
I like that. I don't know, that new one. Oh, what color is it? It looks kind of like that. I like it with the feather in it. What's it?
The blue one?
Should I go get it?
The blue one?
Not the blue one. The
blue one is amazing.
Oh. That's your style.
Are you talking about that tan one? That hat? Yeah, that is actually a pretty solid hat. I like it. It's kind of a boring hat.
That's my style.
You are not boring. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that we are going to end here because it's 10:30 and time for bed soon, and we got things to do and people to see tomorrow. I don't know if we got people to see, but
we do.
Is there stuff going on tomorrow?
Yes.
There probably is. We got full schedules. Gaming tomorrow. Hey, folks, I really appreciate you guys watching us. I am very thankful to my lovely and beautiful and young wife for coming on the show. This is not really her forte. It is not something that she enjoys doing that much, and so she's kind of sacrificing, and I appreciate that. And so I'm not going to say what I was about to say something like I'll wash dishes or something, but that's not.
No, that will never happen.
No, it will not, because I got the kids on a rotation now. It's very, very convenient. There are benefits to having a lot of kids. It's true.
You never did the dishes to begin with.
I had a job where I did dishes. I'm pretty sure. I feel like that.
Yeah, but not at home.
Oh, I've done dishes at home.
That is true.
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's been
Do you
a
remember the
long
time?
time.
Well, we must end this now! Okay, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Got some videos going up tomorrow for you guys. We'll see some reviews going up and other things going up this week. I got a really cool game I can't show you yet because I'm not sure if I'm going to get it done this week, but I got another cool game too. It's just lots of exciting things. All right, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Laura Vasel.
And we are the Vasels.